Here we go again. Here we go, go. Here we go, we're coming at ya. Come on, who sung that? Let's start with a bit of music trivia. We never do that on the show.
I don't know.
It was in the 1990s, the early 1990s. It was a big hit for a band. I think they were from Sweden. It's not Ace of Base, there's a clue, and it's definitely not ABBA.
In which case I've got no idea.
It was Stack a Bow. Here we go again. Yeah. But here we go again. It's Chasing 40 time. Recording a little bit earlier this week, of course, because I had something really important to take care of over the weekend, so we were unable to... Bec's looking at me because she knows the true story. Okay, I'll fess up. We're recording Chasing 40 this week on a Thursday because... Friday, I'm going to be going to Ladies' Day at Aintree and I'm going to be having a little bit to drink. Saturday, I'm going to be going back to Aintree Racecourse to see the Grand National. Probably going to have a little bit more to drink.
Yep.
And then on Sunday, Everton are playing Leicester, so I'm probably going to have a little bit more to drink. So
you probably need to have a little bit to drink too.
There is no way humanly possible I will be able to record a podcast this coming weekend. So we're doing things a little bit earlier. So normally we like to reflect on the week gone by. Sadly, this week we've only got 4 days to go on. But we have got time to talk about WrestleMania.
Yay!
Because if you remember on last week's show, episode 7, I was very excited. A lot of people getting in touch with me saying I was a little too excited. And great news, Bec.
What?
Big Daddy's lawyers didn't get in touch with us to say that they were getting excited and wanted to sue us. If you want to know what that's all about, by the way, check out episode 7 from last week. Lots of fun stuff involving Big Daddy, Hulk Hogan, and me being excited about a few things.
Was it good, though?
Oh, it was great. I'm still tired from it, though, because as I mentioned to you, the whole of last weekend was a long weekend for me. And, of course, on Sunday night, I didn't get to bed until, I think it was 25 past 5.
It's just ridiculous.
25 past 5. So Monday morning, 25 past 5, I went to bed. I had an hour's sleep, and I was back up, and I was back out again.
Could you not have just recorded it and watched it later?
A few people have said this to me, because the channel that I watch it on the network is on demand. So I could have got up at 5 in the morning and then watched it then. But it takes too long. It started at 10 o'clock, right, and went all the way through till 5:30. But you know what? I'm glad I actually did watch it live and on my own, because I got quite emotional at the end.
Right.
I had a little tear in my eye and everything. Right. It was a sad... I can't believe you're asking why. Have you not seen the news all around the world?
Strangely not.
It was in USA Today. It was in the New York Times. It was in the Independent. It was in every single national newspaper here.
What?
The big news.
What?
The Undertaker retired. You don't know about that?
Oh.
The Undertaker.
What a shame.
The Phenom. The big man in a black suit. I'm running out of things to say about him. He's got a hat.
And that's a big thing, is it, him retiring?
Oh yeah, it's one of the biggest things that's ever happened in my lifetime watching wrestling. Even bigger than the Hulk Hogan scandal, what we discussed last week. No, this guy has been around. A lot of people were saying on Twitter when I was sort of following the events, it's the death of their childhood. Pardon the pun there. The Undertaker retiring means the death of their childhood, because he's been around since 1990. So I've been watching this guy on my TV screen since 1990, and at the age of 52, he hung up the black hat and the coffins, and he said goodbye. But it was quite sad. So at 24 minutes past 5, I had a little tear in my eye, thinking, he's gone for good.
I'm sorry for your loss.
The other thing as well, what I was thinking about this though, is it's not just bad for us wrestling fans, it's bad for Undertakers, the profession in general.
He's not a real Undertaker.
He looks like a real Undertaker to me.
Okay then.
And I've seen him put people in coffins. I haven't seen him bury... Actually, I have seen him bury people.
Wow.
But that's too much to explain. But no, I think the Undertaking profession, when he came along, that gave them something cool and something rock and roll to aspire to.
Jeff, there's probably only you who thinks that this wrestling thing's cool.
Think about it. Can you think of any showbiz Undertakers out there? There isn't any, is there? He was the only one.
No, but I don't think they do it to seek glory and fame.
Have you ever met any Undertakers?
I know a lady Undertaker.
There you go. So it's a lady Undertaker.
Yeah.
Well, I've met many Undertakers over the years. Now, it makes it sound like I go to some sort of club. And then, boys, I'm telling you, they looked up to the Undertaker, the Phenom, the WWE champion of my heart forever.
Oh, wow.
No, because think about it. Especially if you're a bloke, I need to go on to this, because I've never even seen a female Undertaker, so I want to ask some questions about that in a few moments' time. But think about it. Do you know how difficult it is to sort of, especially, for example, pull women? If you're an Undertaker, it's not the most showbiz of lifestyles, is it?
But no.
So you're in a pub and you're having a chat, because I knew one lad, right, who used to lie about his job until I said to him, have you seen The Undertaker on TV in America? And he went, what? And he saw it and he went, I'm going to use that going forward in the future.
Seriously?
Yeah. So yeah, we're in a bar right now.
Right.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
Do you want to ask me about my job?
What do you do?
I'm an Undertaker.
See, this wouldn't work because I'd be impressed with that. You know, I've got a thing about death.
Okay,
I'd be like, do you want to do my funeral
try that
for
on
me?
the wrong girl. I'll give you a discount if you sleep with me.
What kind of coffins have you got?
Oh, this is weird.
Talk death.
But anyway. But it gives them a bit of showbiz and razzmatazz because they can then hit back when the girl or someone goes, Undertaker, ooh. They go, no, like the wrestler. I'm a champion like him. Now, I had this one guy, one Undertaker, this is a serious story, when I did meet him, he was a friend of a friend, and we were chatting away, and one thing he did have is he had the gift of the gab with the women, and whenever we go out, I'd see him off dancing with girls all the time, and I asked the question, I said, what happens, does it ever get weird where they ask you what job you do? And he said, yeah, it does, from time to time, but what I've learned is I just give a different job, I just make something up. And I said, well, what do you say? And this was before I told him he could have used the Undertaker line. He said, I told him I'm a bus driver. No, nothing against bus drivers out there, but I'm sure, because one thing I do know about Undertakers is they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cash, and people, there's no cure for death that I'm aware of on the way. So people are going to keep dying, people are going to keep spending thousands and thousands of pounds on funerals. But I thought, if you're going to, because he had the money and the cash to go with it, couldn't you make up something better than a bus driver? So you see what I mean? He could say, yeah, like the wrestler, especially if you're a big lad. Go on, tell us about this, so that you know some female Undertakers.
Yeah, 2 of them. I met them, it was years ago now. I had Nan Summer's party. And they were coming along to it, but they were on call.
Let's just get this straight. So we've started the episode by talking about wrestling. We've got into Undertakers, and now we're on to Ann Summers parties, and we're less than 10 minutes into the show.
That's what happens.
This is Jason 40, kids.
So yeah, they came along to this party. They turned up and they had their Undertaker outfits on. I don't know if there's a proper name for them. And I was like, you can't sit here at Ann Summers' party dressed like that.
What does an Undertaker outfit look like?
Well, it's just like black suits.
Right, okay,
and
yeah.
like white shirt. And
not like my Undertaker. Little tight lycra and...
Well,
anyway, yeah.
Funny you mention that. So, as you do at Ann Summers' parties, you kind of dress up and you try on basques and underwear and play with toys and all that kind of weird stuff.
Bloody Jesus! What Ann Summers parties are you going to?
It was a while ago.
And can I come the next one? Just to observe.
And the girls had like these basques on. They were trying them on, and they got a call out. So they had to go and see a client. Well, see a client. Sure, the client didn't actually mind. And because they had to go straight away, basically they just put their outfits on over the top of these basques, and off they went to deal with said client, and came back about 3 or 4 hours later. So, and I was like, you've just been to deal with a dead person. And I know what you've got on underneath there.
Yeah, I suppose if it was a bloke, then that's a memorable exit for them, isn't it?
Oh, it was even
the
worse.
Cast of Moulin Rouge come and pick up the corpse.
What was worse is that both ordered things from the catalogue that then get delivered to me, and I have to go and take them to them. And so I had to walk into the funeral home carrying 2 bags of goodies from Ann Summers.
So there's families there going to see their loved ones. How are you? Are you okay? Yes, okay. Well, we'll take you through to Terry in a few moments' time. Don't worry, he's at peace. You turn up. Well, hey!
Have you got any batteries?
I've got the dildos. Oh, sorry. Oh my. We've got a brilliant story, and I'm trying to think of good ways to sort of get around this, involving, keeping with the scandal theme of this week's show. Oh, by the way, if you have just tuned in, because I know there'll be a lot of Billy Ocean fans who are tuned in right now thinking, this isn't Billy Ocean. We are going to be catching up with Billy Ocean, the actual Billy Ocean. I managed to sit down and talk to him about his upcoming UK tour and a bit about his career as well. So we'll have that at the tail end of the show. So for any Billy Ocean fans out there, if you want to just pause it, maybe go and have a cup of tea or just lower it down for a bit, tune back in about, say, 10 minutes and we'll get to Billy. How do we... Because it's the David Moyes thing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So, again, we know there's a lot of people listening in the States right now, and something quite exciting, actually, about the States, which we'll get onto in a few moments' time, and all around the world, who might not be aware of this guy, but there's a football manager, a very famous football manager in the UK called David Moyes, and David Moyes has been involved in a scandal this week where... Now, I've seen the clip, by the way. That, to me, unless I've just taken it out of context myself, because I only glanced at it on Twitter.
He joked that he was going to slap a female reporter. It was a joke. She didn't report him. She took it in jest, and it was her bosses at the BBC who took it further. But I was suddenly started thinking, you know what, I could have been really famous a few years back. if I'd have gone public with what happened to me.
So is this before then you became, because you started as a journalist, didn't you? So you were covering, were you sent to cover the football press conferences, or was it after the games?
No, it was the press conferences.
The press conferences.
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, Bec has told me to... I've heard one of them before. I hadn't heard the second one about the big balls. Right. Well, we might have to do some play acting here. We're not going to tell you where, but I have a guess by one of our voices. That might give it away, the accents of the area where this happened. But there were two separate press conferences that Bec went to.
Yeah.
One of which...
I shouldn't have actually gone to because I wasn't a qualified journalist. I just gegged in because what we were signing, the football club I support was signing a big player.
Right, well, you've just basically given it away now, haven't you? Okay, should we start with that one then?
Yeah.
I was going to do an accent. I was thinking all week I've been working on I was thinking Gold Member from Austin Powers, because he was a Dutch fella, wasn't he? Oh! Smoking a pancake? Let's start with that story and hope no one heard that part. Yeah. This fella said, what was it, the comment that he said to you? What was the question that you asked him?
We were talking about the player that he was signing.
Yeah.
And what it was about him. And he said, I like him because he's got big balls like me.
And was this a one-on-one chat you were having as well?
Yes.
And what happened then? Was there?
I was just like... Okay, thank you, sir.
Did he smile at you when you said this? Was there like a dramatic pause?
I probably went bright red.
Did he then?
I just giggled.
Did he then sort of drop his eyes down and
No,
looked?
but I did.
Because she has big balls like me. Is that even I don't even think that's your Dutch accent, is it?
I don't know what
Actually,
it is.
that's not too bad. I think that's... Yeah, look at my big balls. Okay. So that straight away, if that was in this day and age, that would have went viral.
Yeah.
No two ways about it, and it would have been, you sexist pig. But it was a joke, and as Bec just mentioned then, she copped a look at his balls afterwards.
Exactly.
Now,
I'd have had a feel if he'd have let me.
The other guy, I don't know how we're going to get around this one. Right, it wasn't that far away. It was at another football club.
Yeah.
These are both Premier League football clubs, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll let you put the pieces together. I think you've already figured out the first one. So the second one, what was it he said to you?
He told me that if I turned up with a certain attachment on my keyring that I had again, he was going to bend me over his knee and spank me.
Was that one-on-one as well?
No, that was like in a group.
In front of the whole room? What was everyone's reaction there?
Everyone just laughed because it was funny. I was a little bit excited actually, so I turned up next week with like an blaze and I was like, hi. Oh, he said his name there. Hi, I'm back.
I'm going to say no more on that subject, so I'll let you piece that together. I think.
Nice,
did you actually slip out his first name then?
No, I don't think I did. I nearly did.
So the message we're trying to put out there to David Moyes is, don't be too bothered about it. It'll blow over, and it could have been a lot worse. At least you didn't threaten to spank her or show the lady in question your big balls. You just... Actually, the one you just mentioned with... I nearly said his name.
No!
That involved a slap, didn't it, of some sort?
Yeah.
So
A bit more pleasurable, though.
So last week on the show then, I mentioned that we were going to play a clip of me rapping with Status Quo. A lot of people got in touch with me about this one. Once again, I've done it, haven't I? I started the show by singing Stack a Bow. Well, you know, actually, I'm going to use this to evidence something though, because a few episodes back, I was talking about how I feel that my voice has improved with time, and I think I've got quite a decent voice now. And I'll evidence it with the harmonies that I do on this song to how I am now, because I think with age, like a fine wine, I've got a little bit better. I'm thinking also, when I was 15, I said I wanted to be a rock star. Maybe now is the time to release that album. I can add it to my list. I've already released 2 singles over the years. I've had 2 Christmas songs that have come out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You have?
So I'm already a renowned pop star. So I could branch away from the Christmas songs. Now you're going to ask the question, what about we'll play them at Christmas time. We don't need to do that now. But I was reminded anyway about this isn't... Someone said to me, this isn't an isolated incident, you singing on shows, because you used to do it all the time. And I was sent a clip of me performing with a Status Quo tribute act back in 2006. And when I was listening through to it, I was thinking, first off, that's terrible, because I start rapping.
How can you even rap to Status Quo?
Yeah, have a little listen to this. This is me and a Status Quo tribute band.
Hey, vacation in a foreign land. Uncle Sam does the best he can. You're in the army now. Oh, you're in the army now.
You can hear the harmonies in the background there, can't you?
Yeah.
Listen to this now. Whoa, whoa, we're in the army now.
No, you sound exactly the same.
Come on, Bec, that's good.
You sound exactly.
Whoa, whoa. Listen, there's a bit of tone in there.
It's this whole hand move. You're like doing a Westlife hand gesture.
Oh, well, I was doing hand gestures when I got onto this part.
This what we can freestyle. Yeah, down with the quote. I'm a bad, bad, bad mofo. 2006 in the mix.
Hand grenades flying over your head.
Check.
Missiles flying over your head.
You say you're a bad, bad mofo.
I don't know where that come from. What did I say?
2000 in the mix, 2006. Why do I even remember the words?
I'm down with the quo. I'm a bad mofo. 2006 in the mix. It gets worse. I won't play it all, but throughout
Thankfully.
I'm going, yeah. And then I actually use the word key change. Them poor fellas, they come into... I don't even know why they were in the studio, but they were there for some reason. I'm pretty sure it wasn't for me desecrating the...
No, I don't think so.
Which now is the memory of the quo, sort of, isn't it? Because we lost one of them at Christmas time. Hey, did you tell me through the week you were out drinking with an American?
Yeah, a friend of mine. She's lived over here 25 years. It all got a bit political. You know, it's like when you've had a few beers, and she was meeting a few of my other friends for the first time, and they were goading her a little bit about the whole Trump thing. She's not a Trump fan.
Did
by
she
any
hit back
means.
at all though with Brexit and Nigel Farage?
Yes.
'Cause they've got a massive idiot. We've got a big tool who caused all that. So it's one of them. We can prod her, but she can prod back with that.
Yeah, no, she's it got very serious and very political, and I was just sat there with Prosecco going, can we just talk about something funny now, please?
On the subject of Trump, it's been on my mind for the past few days, so it's quite funny that you spent some time with an American, because later on this week I'm going to be a guest on an American show. And they yes.
How cool's that?
Two Americans want to speak to me, and they
Real
want to talk.
Americans
Two
in real America
in Idaho, show based out of Idaho. Tom and Steve, who do a weekly show over there, and it's available on iTunes as well as a podcast. We'll get all the links for that and all the details on it on next week's show. I'll probably play some clips, but they approached me through the week about coming on and having a chat with them about chasing 40 and some other things. But I'm pretty certain we're going to get onto the DT subject, the Donald Trump subject.
Yeah.
So I've been scouring through their social media thing to see where they're up to at it. So I'm thinking, do I go straight in hard with the Donald Trump subject? You thought I was going to say something else there, didn't you? Do I go straight in hard with the DT? Anyway, I'm a bit nervous on how to approach it, because do I mention Donald? Because I'm obviously anti-Donald Trump. I think most of the world is. I saw his approval rating that was down to less than China. In the eyes of the common American, they like China better than they actually like Donald Trump.
That's not good for your CV.
Especially when the man that, has been overtaken by China has spent the best part of the past 2 years slagging off China and saying they're stealing everything from us. So I'm a bit sceptical, or I'm worried on what way I approach it. Do I go on there and I lay into their president and then start World War III? And then or do I just be honest about it?
I think go in.
Yeah.
Hard.
Go in deep. That's with the Donald Trump
Go
stuff.
deep with the DT.
That's what you think. What we'll do is we'll get the links for the show and we'll get all the full details. I'll probably play some clips next week to find out what has this show become?
It's just, I don't know. It's a Thursday for you.
Yes, that's good. And once again, Billy Ocean fans, don't worry. I know I said to you 10 minutes ago we'd be with Billy Ocean, but we will be shortly. We're going to take a break and then we're going to get to that. Hey, one thing I wanted to rate, and I don't know whether to bring this up actually when I speak to the guys over in America. Did you see the story about the bloke in Indiana who, and I'm thinking to myself, why did you actually, it's his missus who had the vote. Well, this family over there, they own a restaurant, well known in the area, and they were big Trump fans in the build-up. They bought into the Make America Great message, and the wife voted for him, and obviously Trump got in. One little problem with this is the reason the husband didn't vote, his name was Roberto, was because he was an illegal immigrant. So you know what happens next, don't you, with this one? So Roberto, even though he's built up a restaurant over in Indiana, he's well known in the local area, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he got deported this week.
Oh, God.
I do find that really, really sad. I'd like to, that'd be something that I would like to, if one of the guys, which I don't think they're going to be, I can't imagine I'm going to find any American that actually supports Trump unless it's somewhere like Alabama. I'll read the story. Helen Bernstein voted for Donald Trump even though she's married to an undocumented immigrant. In November, she thought Trump would deport only people with criminal records, people he called bad hombres, and that would leave families intact. I don't think ICE is out to detain anyone and break families, no, Bernstein told CNN affiliate WSBT in March, shortly after her husband, Roberto, was detained. On Wednesday, though, Roberto Bernstein was proven wrong. And ICE split her family across 2 countries. Roberto was deported back to Mexico despite having no criminal record, family attorney Adam Arsari said. He hadn't committed any crimes, he didn't even have a parking ticket. From everyone's account, he's probably one of the most lovable guys you'll ever meet. He's a loving husband and father, and he's put a lot of work into his restaurants, and now he's been deported.
Oh.
A poor family.
So his family just left in Indiana and
Yeah,
he's
but-
had to go back to Mexico.
I'm sorry, Helen, you stupid fucking idiot. I don't like to swear that much on this show, but that stuff like that brings me to it. Why would you even get... I mean, obviously, I know that vote didn't make it. There was a lot more. Well, in fact, actually, he lost the popular vote, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's the rest of the country. But stuff like that, come on. Have a bit of a brain. You built up a restaurant there with your husband. You got kids. I'm sure there's some sense up there in that coggin. Sometimes words fail me. That's why I descend into swear words. Right, Billy Ocean fans, we're going to take a break. And then we'll be back with the man who Beck laughed at last week. He's on tour across the UK throughout April. I think it goes into May as well. And we'll give full details on how you can find out about that a little bit later on in the chat. But stay tuned, we're going to take a short break and then we're going to have the man, the myth, the legend, Grammy Award winner. He's won all sorts of stuff, sold millions and millions of records. Billy Ocean talking about his upcoming UK tour. Absolute legend and actually the first Grammy Award winner that we've had. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Billy Ocean. Are you there, Billy?
That's a nice introduction. What can I say? Thank you very much, Jeff.
You are. You're our first ever Grammy Award winner.
Thank you.
So, 30 years you've been in the business for now. 30 years since it's over 30 years since you burst onto the scene. Would you believe back then that you'd still be kicking around?
No, I didn't. I just thank the Lord for that because you have one hit and you're sort of excited about the whole thing, but you don't know what's going to come after, do you? You know, I've had my ups and downs, but I've survived.
It's been an amazing career, which we'll hopefully get through. It's your first tour for a while.
2007, I started off. I did 4 gigs in the UK to test the water. Well, in the UK, but I also went, further abroad. I went to America, I went to Canada, did Jamaica Jazz Festival, etc., etc.
So where is it you're based these days then, Billy?
I'm still in England. I still live here. I grew up here, as you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't know. I was born in Trinidad, came here when I was 10 years old, lived in the East End of London, used to gig around the East End of London mostly. That's where my first gig was, when I left school, had an audition, joined the band, started doing gigs in pubs, different parts of London. I think the furthest we went in them days was Wales.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of the highlights of your career so far. I mentioned then at the top of the show when we introduced you that you were a Grammy Award winner, the first ever Grammy Award winner, which I'm glad to say on the show this month. That must have been an amazing feeling when you picked that up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of, you write a song, you record the song, and, you don't really know what's going to happen to it. But it goes out there, the public like it. Next thing you know, you're number one. Next thing you know, you're Grammy Award winner, and you're very confused and nervous. The thought that you have to go to America and pick up a Grammy Award. Well, you do it, and it's a great feeling.
What do you do with the Grammy Award these days? Have you got it on the mantelpiece or have you got it in a special cabinet? Because if I win a Grammy Award, Billy, I'd be carrying it around everywhere going, yeah, hi, Grammy Award winner. Because it's a musical Oscar, isn't it?
Well, it is a musical Oscar, but once you've achieved something, I think you move on, don't you? You can't really dwell on the past.
You're cool, Billy. I'll be dining out on that one forever. I'm telling you.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not proud of it, but you can't really dwell on the past. I mean, you said where is it? It's in somebody's office somewhere, right? And like all the other awards, gold and platinum albums and things like that, I never really kept them around me. This might sound crazy to you, but I see people have things like that in their offices and think, I don't know, sometimes I wonder to myself, well, if I have this around me, it will make me feel as if I've arrived and there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, good way of thinking.
No, serious. And also, I also didn't want my kids to see it too much. They know about it, but I wanted, life is about, striving for the next day and moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And not really dwelling on the past. So I know they're there. History is already made. I appreciate them, but I'm moving on.
Talking of making history, one of the big things you also did in the 1980s, which was when it really, really exploded for you, was appearing at Live Aid, which is still, I would say, the best gig of all time. Just the meaning behind it and the immense size. It was just unbelievable. You played at the JFK Stadium.
What an amazing day that was, man. I remember the weather was lovely. Not too hot, not too cold. Lovely sunny day. Lots of people. It's still the biggest audience I've worked to. And it's, as you say, it's probably one of the best gigs I've done in my career so far.
Talking of good gigs as well, you were involved with the soundtrack to Jewel of the Nile, which was where The Going Gets Tough came in to play with that one. And also in the video, you have Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito with you.
And Kathleen Turner had some real stars in that video, man.
Yeah,
couldn't get much better than that, you know?
What was that like? It must have been crazy, because, again, at the time, these are the big, big stars, and they're with you. They're your backing singers.
They were cool. I mean, coming from, California, hot Beverly Hills, loads of money people. They just settled in. They never complained. Real professionals. They didn't just stand there. They actually learned the parts. Well, they were more than miming. They were actually singing.
Yeah.
Okay, there wasn't a recording, but to get the live,
the feel for it.
Yeah, to get the whole thing, and it's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, and it was a bit controversial as well, wasn't it? Because the BBC wouldn't play it because they weren't members of Equity or something.
The authorities always...
Yeah.
There's always a reason why not to, in this case, they never played it because Danny DeVito wasn't a member of the Musicians Union, which...
Ridiculous.
Listen, it didn't stop it being a hit, so...
That was what I was about to say to you, because they had a bit of a habit in the 80s, didn't they, with songs? They had to go at Frankie Goes to Hollywood, so we're not playing this, it's Filth, and it became one of the biggest hits. And then, you didn't need the BBC for that one, did you? It was just a great song.
I don't know. I mean, you say you didn't need the BBC. You always need the BBC. Well, especially at the time, that was one of the outlets to music.
But you proved them wrong there, though, Bill, didn't you? Because you were a hit without the blooming auntie. I tell you what, that was a good song when they go and get stuff. I do love it, but my favourite song that you've done is Get Out of My Dreams Into My Car. I just think that is absolutely awesome. Still to this day, I get excited when I play it on the radio. I just love the intro to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
brilliant.
That's Mutt Lange. You heard of Mutt Lange?
Yeah, wasn't he married to Shania Twain?
Well, as far as I know.
He's still with her?
Oh, yeah, as far as I know, he's still with her. But what an amazing producer this man is. This man, the record is produced before he goes in the studio. You know what I mean? He's one of them sort of people.
He just knows.
He's a hard man to work with because perfection.
But he definitely got the best out of you, didn't he? Because, I say, those tunes are ones that they're not just 80s classics. They're ones that'll be around forever and ever. And
I hope so.
Every Friday and Saturday you go out, every bar I go in, you'll hear one of your tunes at some point. Whether it be, no, you will. I'm not just saying that 'cause you're on the show.
Thank you.
Whether it be one of the 70s ones or you've covered sort of two genres there, haven't you?
That's right.
And it's fantastic. And like I said, it's still to this day I get excited. And there's not a lot of songs out there that I do get excited about playing. I've been on the radio for 13 years.
Nice.
That was one of them.
Thank you very much, man. And I'm touring. The show is made up of from Love Really Hurts right up to all the hits. Love Really Hurts, Get Out of My Dreams, Go and Get Stuff, Loverboy, Suddenly, sad songs. And the people seem to be enjoying it. They sing along, and we have a lovely time.
Well, I'll definitely be down there.
You're gonna come by and say hello,
Billy. I will definitely come by and say hello, and you'll be able to sort of pick me out of the crowd because when you play Get Out of My Dreams Into My Car, I'll be the maniac. I'll be jumping up now, going yes.
Oh, listen. You're allowed to behave badly at my concerts.
All right, so you can get details via the website www.billyocean.com.
Yes, Greg.
Billy,
yes.
Thank you very, very much for coming on the show, and all the best for the gig.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you. God bless you.
Okay, same
and
to you.
And don't forget, you're going to come backstage and say hello,
I definitely will come backstage and say hello.
All right, take care, man.
All the best then, Billy.
Okay, thank you, and you.
Care,
bye.
My friend. Billy Ocean, everyone.
Bye, bro.
You laughing again? He's a nice guy, don't you? I'm about to say, don't you feel bad? You're chuckling away.
I can't help it. It's Billy Ocean. I didn't actually think he was as big and popular as he is.
Bec, I think, thought that it was a fake Billy Ocean that was going to come on, like the comedy Hulk Hogan that we have on. No, that was the real Billy Ocean. It wasn't someone doing a good impression. Last week on the show, I announced that we had John McCurrick. Next week, we're going to have Billy Ocean. Bec just laughed.
I'm really sorry, Billy. Sorry, Billy.
He's won a Grammy. He's sold millions of records, and there he's a lovely fella. I'll pass him my regards when I pop and see him. But if you want to check out Billy, as we mentioned then during the chat, you can go on his website, go on Google, where you'll be able to find details of the tour, which is taking place across April and May. And I think he's then going worldwide as well, so you'll find out full details online. Talking of online, if you want to find out about Chasing 40 and previous episodes and listen to us wherever you want, any time of day, on demand, there are 3 places you can do that. You can go on iTunes, you can subscribe, and what will happen is Apple will drop the podcast into your little inbox thing every single week and save you the hassle of downloading it. And while you're there, if you want, only take you a short while, you can leave us a little rating, 5-star one, a little comment, that'd be fantastic. You can go online, Channel 29 on YouTube, you've got all the previous episodes there available to you, and on SoundCloud as well. Just type in Chasing 40 and you'll find us many places, many ways in which you can listen to and support the podcast. Next week on the show, going to be quite good. We're going to be joined by... No, I'm only joking. I was going to say Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz.
I thought you were going to say Cheryl Cole for a minute. I was getting proper excited.
No, we've got no guests lined up that I know of next week, but we'll finally be able to talk about what happened over the Grand National weekend. What I'm going to try and do as well is, because if you were listening at the start, which I'm sure you did listen at the start of the podcast, unless you're one of them weirdos that fasted forward to the end just to listen to Billy Ocean. Oh, sorry, you're a Billy Ocean fan, aren't you? You're not weird. But anyway, we're recording the podcast a little bit earlier this week because we've got the festivities of the Grand National. I'm basically going to be too drunk to record anything. But what I'm going to try and do is record some bits and bobs as I go along.
Brilliant.
So we can play it on next week's show. And also as well, we'll be able to find out if the predictions on Chasing Aintree, which was a YouTube exclusive, were right. My young cousin James picked out some horses and he gave his tip on there. So we'll know next week whether or not. In fact, when you listen right now, we'll know if he was right or not, because this comes on a Sunday. But look, those are the logistical problems of doing podcasts. There ain't nothing I can do, brother. So don't have a go at me. We'll talk about that and loads more next week. And that's as well if we don't get sued by any former Premier League manager. Oh no!
Stop it!
Now I've let it be known that they're both out of work. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.